Can you imagine a smiley face, a simple symbol of happiness, becoming the chilling signature of a serial killer? What if I told you that this killer was so desperate for fame that he became furious when someone else was wrongly convicted for his crimes? This is the story of a man who turned an innocent icon into a mark of terror, the man known as the Happy Face Killer. In 1990, the justice system made a terrible mistake. Laverne Pavlinac, under pressure, gave a false confession, implicating herself and her boyfriend, John Sosnovsk, in a murder they didn't commit. They were sentenced to life in prison, marking the beginning of one of America's most infamous wrongful conviction cases. While they sat behind bars, the real killer was roaming free, growing more and more frustrated. His name was Keith Hunter Jesperson, a long-haul truck driver whose routes became a map of death. For 5 years, he crisscrossed the United States, leaving a trail of victims in his wake. He preyed on at least 8 women across Oregon, Washington, California, and Florida. But for Keith, killing wasn't enough. He craved the spotlight, the notoriety. When Laverne and John were convicted for his first murder, he was outraged. His twisted pride was wounded. So, he began a bizarre campaign to claim his work. Anonymous letters started showing up at newspaper offices and police stations. They were filled with chillingly accurate details of the crimes, details only the killer could know. And at the end of each confession, he would draw a simple smiley face. The investigators slowly began to realize they weren't just dealing with a murderer. They were dealing with a narcissist who was taunting them, desperately seeking recognition for his horrific acts. The hunt for the Happy Face Killer had officially begun. His reign of terror started in Portland, Oregon, with the murder of Tanja Bennett. Her body was found near the scenic Columbia River Gorge, the victim of a brutal attack. This was just the first chapter in a horrifying saga. To understand what created such a monster, we have to look back at his childhood. Keith grew up in a home filled with violence, frequently beaten by an alcoholic father, and ridiculed by his classmates for his size. His cruelty wasn't a sudden development. It began with torturing and killing animals, a classic and terrifying warning sign of a future predator. This early trauma and abuse twisted his mind, planting the seeds of the rage he would later unleash on the world. The walls finally started closing in on Keith in 1995. He became the prime suspect in the murder of his girlfriend, Julie Winningham. Faced with mounting evidence and the overwhelming need to finally get the credit he felt he deserved, Keith's dam of secrets broke. He confessed, not just to one murder, but to a string of them. He proudly admitted to being the author of the smiley-faced letters, finally claiming his dark identity. Once in custody, his hunger for attention exploded. In prison, Keith boasted of killing over 160 people, while investigators could only confirm 8 of his claims. His pathological need to exaggerate revealed a man detached from reality, obsessed with building a legacy of fear. His confessions, though horrifying, had one positive outcome. They exposed the miscarriage of justice that had happened years earlier. Thanks to Keith's detailed admissions, the truth about the first murder was finally revealed. After spending 4 long and agonizing years in prison for a crime they didn't commit, Laverne Pavlinac and John Sosnovsk were exonerated and set free. The real killer, Keith Hunter Jesperson, was sentenced to multiple life sentences, ensuring his deadly journey across America's highways was over for good. This case serves as a chilling reminder of how easily the justice system can fail. The rush to close a case, combined with a coerced confession, led to an unimaginable tragedy for 2 innocent people. It underscores the absolute necessity of relying on forensic evidence and thorough patient investigation, rather than just a confession, to find the truth. The Happy Face Killer left a permanent scar on the American psyche. He took a universal symbol of joy and corrupted it, turning it into a signature of his brutality. For years, that simple smiley face would evoke a sense of dread and unease. Most of Keith's victims were vulnerable women, often sex workers or those experiencing homelessness. They were people living on the margins of society, people who are too often invisible. Their tragic fates highlight a painful truth. Society's most vulnerable are often the easiest targets for predators who hunt in the shadows. The gruesome nature of his crimes and his unique, taunting signature captured the public's imagination. The story of the Happy Face Killer has been retold in countless documentaries, movies, and true crime books, reflecting our deep fascination with the psychology of evil. His case also provided invaluable information for criminologists. Keith's methods and movements helped law enforcement develop better profiles for transient serial killers offenders who use their mobility to evade capture, making them one of the most dangerous and difficult types of criminals to track. The lesson here is a haunting one. A smile doesn't always signal happiness or kindness. Sometimes, it's a mask, hiding a soul filled with darkness, a predator grinning at the pain and chaos they create. Thank you so much for watching. This case is a complex and dark part of criminal history, and it's important we remember the victims and the lessons learned. If you found this story compelling, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating cases. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.